The population of American crocodiles extends from South Florida through Central America into northern South America, and Costa Rica is right in the middle of the American crocodile range. You can find these prehistoric animals living in salt or freshwater marshes, mangroves, forests, river mouths, and sometimes even open oceans. With both the crocodile and human population growing every single day, sometimes the crocodiles are deemed to be dangerous and are removed. Now, luckily for these crocodiles, facilities like the Greentique Wildlife Refuge in Costa Rica are happy to rescue these crocodiles and give them a permanent home. Chris has been working with this amazing sanctuary since 2012, and this year he was invited back as a consultant to come and work with some of the adult crocodiles. We're Chris and Gabby. We're just your average couple with a passion for wildlife. Okay, or not so average. We're professional animal handlers living in South Florida. We work with dangerous animals on a daily basis. Nothing is off limits, and we never know what kind of crazy animal we're going to run into next. Join us as we explore, adventure, and travel to new and amazing places. Welcome to our wild world.
So Gabby and I are here at the Greentique Wildlife Refuge, which is part of the Si Como No Resort. I've worked here a lot in the past, over several years. It's a really amazing little wildlife refuge where they take in some nuisance wildlife and they house them here, give them a permanent home. And then they also protect a huge acreage of forest over here, which beautiful trails on, everything like that. That's where we were out last night. We saw red-eyed tree frogs, we saw 3 different species of snake, just really awesome, beautiful area. Now, the crocs that they have here, they've done a really good job with this enclosure. It's a beautiful setup, and let's see, how many adults do they have? They have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 adult American crocodiles, and right now they have some 4-day-old baby crocs, and some from last year as well. So we're definitely going to check them out, talk about them some. It's just a beautiful, amazing place. So what do you think?
This is beautiful. I mean, just the atmosphere, the enclosures, absolutely beautiful.
Really cool, right?
Really cool.
I like how the viewing area is above so you can look down and see the animals. The other thing that's really cool, you guys see that what looks like a log in the middle? That's actually cement, and so that separates this pond from that pond. And then there's another one over here, a little waterfall, and that's another pond. So you have these visual barriers that separate out these different ponds so that the crocodiles can each inhabit a different area. So there's 3 crocs in this whole big enclosure. And so one of them will stay here, one will stay there, and one will stay there. And that way they can kind of separate their own little territories. And that really kind of alleviates a lot of the issues you'll get when you house multiple animals in one enclosure.
I'm so fortunate that I was able to assist Chris in this beautiful facility. First, we had the chance to meet a few of the baby crocodiles and see their enclosure. This is a 4-day-old American crocodile. That is just incredible. It's so crazy to see how small they are when they first hatch and then how big they can get. It always amazes me. Now over here you can see the egg tooth, which is the caruncle, and that's what they use to help them break out of the eggshells. Turtles have that, crocodilians have it, a lot of different reptiles have that, so it's really awesome to see too.
It's crazy to hold just like a little baby dinosaur. He's only 4 days old, just a little tiny thing. And at this size, they're very vulnerable. They have a lot of predators at this size. Herons will eat them, raccoons, other crocodiles. As you can see, we have the separation right there. All sorts of birds, any kind of carnivorous mammal, snakes. I mean, everything wants to eat these little guys because they're so tiny. So if you notice, this enclosure is completely netted off all the way around. And that is to protect the babies, keep out any potential predators. So these little guys come out of the egg with a full set of teeth right out of the egg, including that extra little egg tooth up in there in the front, which is not a real tooth. It's a calcium deposit used to slit open the egg. Now you also see all the babies hanging out together. They do form what's called a pod, and that's what all little baby crocodilians will do, and that's for safety in numbers. So they all stick together, that way they have more eyes to be able to watch for potential predators, and that also decreases your odds of getting nailed if you're next to your buddy. Safety in numbers. Now, with American alligators, they are very maternal, but the American crocodile is actually not very maternal. There's very little maternal care. On occasion, she will defend babies or nests, but it's actually pretty rare. Meanwhile, with the alligators, it's very common. This is a 1-year-old, and this is a 4-day-old. Check out the size difference between these two. Pretty darn crazy how quickly they grow and how big they get. And then, of course, when you look at this compared to one of the big adults over there, I mean, that's just, it's incredible to see that size difference.
After seeing a few of the baby American crocodiles, now it's time to feed the adults, and Chris is going to start training them.
So we're gonna go in and try to feed some of these guys, try to do some training with them, some habituation. This is something I worked on over the years while visiting here, and they have some really awesome, huge crocs. A lot of fun, really cool stuff.
In the past, Chris has worked with and trained one of their 14-foot crocodiles. His name is Elliot, but Chris hasn't seen him in about 2 years and has no idea if he's going to remember him or how he's going to react.
Elliot. Elliot.
Almost immediately, Elliot accepts food from Chris's hand. After a short while, Elliot becomes really comfortable with Chris and allows him to hold him under the chin. Getting the animal used to interactions like this can be really useful for veterinary checks and if you have to move the animal.
There's a good boy.
After working a little bit hands-on with Elliot, Chris decides he wants to work with one of the new crocodiles at the facility, a crocodile named Paco. Chris also hopes that by feeding Paco and working with him, Elliot will hear it and it will motivate him more to come out of the water.
Paco.
Paco is a really fast learner, and he's also really gentle. In no time at all, Paco is accepting food right out of Chris's hands.
Look at that. He's calming down a lot.
And within a few minutes of working with him, he's able to touch him under the chin. It was a great training session, especially for the first time, and more importantly, it was a positive interaction, which is great. And now it's time to go back into Elliot's enclosure and see if he's willing to come out for him now.
So that went really well. Elliot came up. He didn't come out of the water. That's what I was hoping for, but you know, he felt more comfortable in it. So I got him to come up, got to touch him a little bit. You can see he calmed down. He was okay with everything, and you could see he was responding pretty well. And then I went on with their new one, Paco, and he's really nice. He's not aggressive, but he's got a strong feeding response, and he's very energetic. You see he jumped up a couple of times. Really cool animal, for sure. So as always, an awesome time. Love working with these guys.
After a training session with Paco, Chris is pretty confident that Elliot will be motivated to come out now. Slowly but surely, Elliot makes his way out of the water and onto solid ground. Understanding the crocodile's behavior is critical for interactions like this. Chris is an expert when it comes to animal behavior, and he's been working with crocodilians for over 16 years. All around, it was a great day, and the crocodiles were so well behaved. Chris was also able to teach some of the staff members a few new things as well.
So we had a really awesome time working with the crocodiles here at the Greentique Wildlife Refuge with Si Como No. Elliot was very cooperative. In the end, we actually did get him to come all the way up onto the land, and that was my goal the whole time, so I was really stoked to have that happen. And just what an incredible creature, you know? Now, it is Costa Rica. It is hot. It is humid. My shirt looks like I literally went swimming, so do my pants. If you guys can tell, the color it's supposed to be is like, what, right there, over there? It's a couple shades dark because it literally looks like I went swimming right now. Nothing to do with crocodiles. Totally the humidity, right? But definitely had an amazing time with him, and thanks so much to Greentique and Si Como No for letting us work with the crocodiles. So you can come experience the magic of nature here at Greentique and Si Como No. You can see the crocs, the caiman, the turtles, the butterflies, and one of my favorite parts around here is they have an amphibian garden area where they do night hikes, and you can actually do a guided one and go see the red-eyed tree frogs breeding, everything like that. And for my herping friends out there, I've actually on the trails here, I've got fertile ants, coral snakes, eyelash vipers, red-eyed tree frogs, all kinds of species. It's a beautiful area.
Thanks for watching, guys. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to our channel. Let us know what you think. And if you want to see anything else and want us to make videos of it, let us know in the comments below. Thanks again, guys. We'll talk to you real soon.